a really important few days. I think it's probably the most significant gathering of business leaders in Australia ever. You know, how does the everyday person in the street understand the importance of the G20 and the B20? Then pretty simply, it's about jobs. And we've focused on 4 areas, and they are trade, infrastructure, financing for growth and human capital. The B20 will hand down recommendations, we'll debate and prioritise recommendations over the next day or so, and then on Friday afternoon we'll hand our recommendations over to the Prime Minister, the Treasurer and the Trade Minister, who I must say have been very strongly engaged in this process.
Our action plan will be focused on supporting the G20 governments moving from the GFC crisis response to helping create economic growth and job creation.
There is a wonderful opportunity to drive economic growth and jobs, which is the major theme of this conference and of the G20. We think this is critically important. This is a partnership approach, that it's government and private sector and the community all working together.
What we do as B20 and through our task force is to provide leaders with advice. And of course our advice can be slightly idealistic, if you like, strongly aspirational, and we fully understand that many of the things that we're advocating are not the sorts of things that necessarily win the next election, but they could well win the election after next and the one after that. So we look forward to finalising these recommendations this week, presenting them on Friday, and actually socialising them quite in some depth with the trade ministers who meet over the weekend.
And we say if we can add 2% growth over the next 5 years on that one, that is $2 trillion more in the economy, and that is tens of thousands of jobs that would benefit from all of that. I think, again, the leadership in Australia as a host country has been extraordinary. I think this is a celebration week, especially for Richard Goyder as head of the B20, and certainly the Prime Minister in terms of his leadership. But I think the set of recommendations that are going to be coming down and being finalized by the end of the week are going to establish a new high in terms of what can be done.
We believe that by advocating on behalf of the international business community, that the governments of the world can take that on board and therefore be more effective in their attempts to increase prosperity and job creation.
The majority of businesses right across the G20 are small to medium businesses, and we've got to find better ways to allow them to employ one extra person, because if every SME in Australia employed one person, we wouldn't have an unemployment problem.
I would hope that the recommendations we make are adopted and actioned, and I think if that happens, we will see progress.
be safe, take